this is the demo session for Playwright plus TypeScript Automation Mastery, and in this demo I'm going to walk you through the topics that we cover, why we have chosen those topics, what would be the timing, and everything we are going to discuss in this session. Okay, so let's start. Mentioned in the email, but still I will walk you through the agenda. So basically this uh, session is mostly focused on what are the topics that I have planned to cover and why I have planned these topics. Okay, I had some R&D from my end to figure out like which language to pick, right, which tool to pick, which libraries to pick. I have done my share of R&D. I went through all the GitHub and see how much forks and pull has been done for each of the GitHub. GitHub, I mean Playwright with TypeScript, Playwright with Python. I went through all those packages and see that where exactly the market is going. And then I have done fair share of R&D by going through different job portals across the globe to figure out where exactly they are, which language they are asking along with Python, okay, along with Playwright. And I have figured out that most of the places they are looking for JavaScript or TypeScript. Okay, I will share those data also with you folks so that you will get a very clear idea about it. Okay, so let me share my screen. I'm not sure, do you guys know how I can do auto join? Because every time I need to admit everybody, I'm not sure why I need to do it manually. Anybody know how to do that?
While creating a meeting, we
uh,
can pick the option like
oh,
guest can auto
give
join.
option is admit all, but right now I cannot change it, I guess.
No, I guess.
uh, okay, cool, no worries. Let me share my screen. uh, okay, okay, so I okay, I'm not sure how to manage this one. I'm just thinking, is there any way I can
Can you make somebody host? Not sure if that's.
okay, Senthil, you are here.
Or maybe you can switch to Zoom from the next session onwards.
Yeah, next session onward I will have a separate setup completely. uh, how I can make
Maybe you can minimize this screen.
but Senthil, I can make you a host or something so that you can approve the further ones. I'm not sure how to
Yeah,
do
sure.
that. To pair your tiles. I don't watch. I don't think so. They even have that option. No worries. Just bear with me sometime, folks. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think so. I even can give. No worries. Let's start. Okay. I hope you guys are able to see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So overall, I have given a brief module-wise section to you folks, right, in the flyers that I have shared on the group, that what would be the high-level modules on it, right? So primary, let's first try to understand that why even somebody needs to learn a different tool or library like Playwright, that too along with a new programming language, because that is not a very ideal situation, right, where you need to learn a new language. And then because most of you are my students and you have learned Java along with Selenium and rest assured, right? So why even I'm doing it? And trust me, I'm doing it after a long time. I have stopped taking live session in 2021. 2021 was the last batch I have taken. After that I have stopped because due to a large number of folks, it was very difficult for me to manage. Okay, that's why a couple of folks from this group only helping me this time. So thanks to them first. So now, why I think that Playwright with TypeScript needs to learn. The primary reason is like Playwright is being backed by Microsoft. You folks may be already aware of. And one fun fact, folks, those who have developed the Puppeteer tool, right? the same team has kind of worked on Playwright development, okay, from Microsoft, and they are kind of putting a lot of effort to expand it further, okay. And we may not be surprised if Playwright will come as a service in Azure too, okay, in future. Not right now, but we will not be surprised if that happens, okay, because they are pushing a lot of effort into it. They are, if you have seen any time Debbie O'Brien, who is the kind of product manager for Playwright in Microsoft, she always keep on posting new kind of releases they are working on and what are their future goals. And if you have ever went through her post, you will figure out that they are kind of investing a lot of effort and input towards this, right? And how aggressively Microsoft is backing it, it seems that somehow down the line, within a year or two, it will come as a service in Azure. And once it comes as a service, right, that means your automation as a service, right? Then the adoption would be pretty quick. How much we are seeing today, it would be much significantly higher than how we are seeing it today, okay. So that is one of the primary reason I'm thinking that this will definitely going to change a lot of things going ahead in future. Second reason is uh, Playwright has solved most of the, if you ask me what is Playwright in very simple term without giving any fancy idea, right, in a very simple way, someday they think like, okay, what are the problem with Selenium, what are the problem with Cypress, let's solve it, and the solution is Playwright, okay. They kind of try to address all the problems that we have with Selenium and Cypress. That does not mean that it is kind of better than Selenium and Cypress, because there are some areas, because I have recently created a complete framework and wrapper on top of it. After that only I have decided to teach, because then I figured out that what are the loopholes in it, what are the things we should avoid, what kind of application we should avoid when we are trying to go with Playwright with TypeScript, what are the loopholes it has. So everything we were going to deep dive in this course, entire module. I will walk you through the entire module after this, okay. And the second section that I have introduced is like the MCP part. So why MCP? MCP is basically the model context protocol. In a very layman term, you can say like, you can give very simple commands, and it will help you to generate the scripts in a more easier way, right? More in-depth technicalities and everything I will explain during the sessions. But MCP is going to take over a lot of market going ahead, which is pretty much evident, okay. And why it is important, because you may heard about the vibe coding and all, right? All those are kind of directing to the same direction. Vibe coding, agentic AI, MCP, they are almost reducing the number of lines we write manually, okay folks. So now that could be done either your code generation tools, like we have GitHub Copilot, Amazon Q, right? Those are all code generation tools, leading code generation tools, which help us in a way to reduce the number of lines of code we write by automatically generating it. MCP is one step ahead to that, right? That's why I have decided to add MCP, because if it comes as a service in future, then MCP would be a part of it. And recently I have used it, and it has lot of benefits. It does have some of the loopholes that are also I'm going to show you how exactly it makes mistakes too, okay. It's not like it will, means if some people think that it will replace us, it is not going to replace, because when it fails, they need an expert to fix it, okay. Because everything is generated by AI, right? Maybe your teammates are not even aware of what kind of functional flow or sequence diagram it has done while designing the framework. That's why expertise is mandatorily required. But yeah, the effort would be less. In recently, if you have read through a couple of articles from the person who has founded GitHub, I guess GitHub, and then Microsoft founder, everybody has told like, in coming future what will happen if there are 10 projects you are releasing in a year, right? Then with AI you have to release 20 projects, okay. That doesn't mean that 20 engineers will be cut down, right? 20 engineers will never be cut down, but instead of releasing 10 projects in a year, you need to release 20 projects. And that's how they are quantifying it. I will tell you more in-depth things, how exactly different projects are quantifying it, how they are figuring out that, okay, this could be the right approach, right? Everything's we are going to discuss, okay, in our thorough sessions. So now let me walk you through like what are the modules we have. We will definitely start with Playwright, right? So we will have a little bit in the first module. We will have introduction to Playwright and automation, right? And then we will start with the programming language. Playwright in the first module, just the introduction of Playwright, right? How Playwright works internally, what is the internal architecture of Playwrights, right? You should understand those things, because in future if you are somebody who will create your own MCP, because that's what people are doing, folks, okay? It's not like I have designed an MCP and you need to use it. Just with a little bit of tweak you can create your own MCP, okay? If time permits, then I will show you also how to create your own MCP. It's really very easy to do, okay? But the thing is that for that you need to understand the architecture of Playwright. So we will understand how Playwright works, how it communicates with browsers, right? It is quite different how it, we were doing in Selenium, but it is pretty much similar to Cypress. Then we will, once we understand the Playwright architecture and everything, we will jump into JavaScript. So initially I thought like I will teach directly TypeScript, but it is not possible, folks, okay? If you are completely new to the programming language of TypeScript or JavaScript, then the ideal approach is learn JavaScript fast and then learn TypeScript, or else you will feel lost in many places. That's why I thought, no, I will not directly start with TypeScript. I will first teach JavaScript. And there is a prominent uh, reason behind it also, because if you look at projects, sometimes they are using TypeScript, sometimes they are using JavaScript with Playwright, right? So it's better to know both of them as a programming language. And trust me, they are pretty much same. Type safety with JavaScript is basically TypeScript, okay? So it's pretty much same, I can say. That's why first we will learn JavaScript essentials. Once we are clear on the JavaScript concepts, we will go through all those things. I will share this link also, okay, where I have kind of deep dive and segregated each topics more at a more granular level, so that it will be easy for you to understand. Once we are done with the JavaScript, we will go with the TypeScript, okay? Because once you have the base, it would be easy for you to understand how TypeScript works, okay? They are pretty much similar. So once we are done with the types JavaScript and TypeScript, then we will start with Playwright core concepts and UI automation. That means our web automation part, correct? Here I want to add one more thing. So after AI, there is nothing called as UI automation, API automation, mobile automation, performance testing, security testing. They are going to merge everything together. Why? Because they means not like it is a wrong assumption, but they assume like if we have AI and if we know automation, no matter which automation we are working on, we should use the AI and try to work on all the different areas. For example, you are a pro in web, use the AI and do the same in the mobile. If you are pro in mobile and web, then use AI and try to do API. That's why it's very important nowadays to touch base all the front end and back end automation. Means front end usually have two section, web and mobile. Back end has your API section, right? Majorly API section in the back end side. So first we will start with the front end, that is UI automation or web automation. So the normal topics that you can find in the Playwright, all those things we are going to cover. This is a very good link I am going to give you folks after the session, okay? Just give me a minute. Yeah, so the normal topics that has been covered over here in the talks, all the things we are going to cover, I'm not going to repeat those things again. Like I will cover what are the topics I'm going to cover. So basically you can find it over here and you can also compare it over here. I usually try to add almost all of them. Some of them I have removed because when I worked on Playwright, I realized that some of the things are not exactly important, neither they perform good, okay? That's why I have removed some of the topics from the entire list which we have in the Playwright docs. But almost everything I have tried to cover from the web automation point of view, right? So we will go through the Playwright locators and then actions, drop downs, pretty much everything that we have, and little bit of advanced feature of assertions, record and play, screenshots, right? Whatever they have. And some of the things are provided by default from the Playwright. Assertion is by default, right? We don't have like we have in TestNG. We don't have to do anything like that in Playwright. They have given a default support for that. And once we are done with web automation, we will jump into the backend and API testing, okay? If as most of you are my students, so The API fundamentals knowledge is going to repetitive. Okay, I will just try to still walk you through the fundamentals part, where we will mostly focus on architectures. Okay, microservice monolith, most of you folks are already aware of. So as I want to make it productive for you, so I'm going to add two more architectures into it. One is SOA, one is event driven. Okay, service oriented architecture and event driven architecture, because these days SOA and event driven are being used a lot. Okay, so I'm going to add these two architectures, and then folks, I will give you a little bit knowledge on the system design this time. Okay, the reason is not like system design is mandatory, but I am seeing that the fundamental of system design is important. Okay, we are not going to deep dive into each and every aspect like I'm teaching you rate limiting and all, but still I will give you an idea like how exactly HLD can be done, high level design, how exactly LLD can be done, like low level design, what are the tools we have like UML diagram. So there are a lot of tools we have, draw.io, UML diagram. I will have a brief session on that one, folks. Okay, I have decided it yesterday, so I may not have added here, but I will add it. Okay, the reason behind it is knowing that will give you an edge, right? You may stand out when you write that. Okay, you may not have to write the entire system design, but knowing about HLD, LLD, couple of tools around it will give you an edge. Okay, then we will continue after the API fundamentals. This section system design and architecture will be part of it. Then we are going to move into the rest of the section of API automation, like your API scenarios, authentication, utilities and debugging, right? All the normal ones, networking and Excel integration. Once we are done with the backend, means your API part, then we will jump into the visual testing. Just to let you know, folks, visual testing is not so good in Playwright. Okay, that's my honest review after I have used it. If we ask me, then I would still root for Apply2s, and I guess another one is Percy.io. Okay, these two still stands on the top ranking if you ask me. Okay, from my personal experience, that's why I told, right, until I use, I never start teaching, because that would, I think that would not be the right way. So visual testing is not an impressive one, but still I need to cover, because for generic scenarios you can use it. Okay, but not for the complex ones. And usually in visual automation the scenarios are complex ones. Okay, but some of the, you can have a little bit of fun around it maybe, and little bit of comparison is fair enough, but I will cover this. The reason behind it is people have started using visual testing with Playwright a bit. Okay, not in a very aggressive level, but at least they all are trying to explore this part. So I'm going to add the visual testing next. The next part is the accessibility testing, and trust me, with the advent of AI, this one is going to take up a lot of market, accessibility testing. Okay, because there are a couple of mistakes which AI does a lot. Okay, when it comes to accessibility, localization, those things are really messed up. We have implemented in couple of places, and we have felt that okay, here usability, accessibility, these things are going to take up a lot of market in future. Four things that I have planned in my action item for myself is like security testing, accessibility, usability. These three are the top priority. I mean, definitely with AI, this thing is going to take up a lot of market, because we need to do these testings more in depth. Okay, let me see anyone. Oh, I have admitted everyone, right? Okay. So definitely then we are going to learn the accessibility testing part. Okay, I have not added security testing here, because or else it would be too lengthy, folks. Okay, but we will talk about it. Next, once we are done with the accessibility, we will jump into the Docker integration with Playwright. Again, this part is important, folks. Okay, Docker, cloud, these are being nowadays important aspect. Without that, it's difficult to even survive. Okay, so next I'm going to teach you the Docker part. In Docker, as usual, I will give you some Docker commands, Linux commands, right, to make you more comfortable how exactly we walk around it. I thought like I may teach you a little bit of docker.y, how to create the YML files, but then I thought it would maybe overhead for you folks, but still I will walk you through YML files a bit. Okay, but that does not mean that you will be a pro, but yeah, you will be able to understand how exactly YML works. Okay, So once our Docker part is completed, then as usual, we will go into the CI in CD integration and the Git part, right? In the CI/CD, the normal basic concepts we will go through, how to integrate and all. I was thinking like to cover GitLab, then I thought like Jenkins would be the more appropriate one because you folks can practice easily with that. Overall, both are pretty much same. And Git, if you are my existing students, then mostly all of you are. So you may be aware of most of the Git concepts. So this time I'm going to level it up a bit more, okay? So whatever we have covered last time, that one anyway I will cover again, like your cloning, branching, rebase, everything. Apart from that, couple of additional things I will add, like cherry picking and all, because these days they are asking this. So I will show you some of the couple of important scenarios around it, okay? Some advanced thing that we do with Git, okay? In the Jenkins part, what we are going to do again, in the Jenkins, I will give you a little bit of preview around the Groovy, okay? We are not going to learn the entire Groovy, okay? But I will give you a little bit of knowledge around it so that at least you can read the Groovy and understand how exactly it works. Okay, that was my main agenda. Why I'm explicitly mentioning it, YML and Groovy, okay, these two are not mandatory, but it will always good to know these things. Okay, that's why I thought this time I'm going to add this, but it will not be like in a label that you will learn it and then you will start designing your own Groovy script. Yes, you can play around with it, you can understand an existing one, you can create some smaller ones, not a very complex one, but if you know how to use AI, you can easily do it. I will also show you, okay, how you can create all those Groovy YML using one code integration tool. I will integrate one code integration tool into my Visual Studio so that it would be easy for you to focus on the go, like how exactly we use it. Then we will jump into the AI code gen and Playwright MCP part. Here I am going to cover some of the really latest topics. Playwright MCP, definitely I will show you how to integrate, how to use MCP on your local machine, how to set it up. That is first. Then I will tell you what are the major LLM models going on around the market, how to consume LLM models, how to tune the LLM models. Okay, tuning basically occurs in four major levels. One is around your prompt engineering, which is very basic, everybody knows. So that is not an important one at all. The next things are the top P and temperature. These two are the important parameters which actually helps us to fine tune it a bit more. And the fourth one is how exactly you are training your model. So training your model can be done in multiple ways along with the data, transcripts, documents, anything can be done. And how exactly people do it, they usually store it in some bucket, S3 bucket. S3 is a storage service by AWS. Everybody has their own storage service in the cloud, so usually they use cloud storage service to store this information and then ask LLM model to consider it as a context. How exactly this whole thing works, I will show you with the flow and architecture and sequence diagram, okay, so that you will have a really in-depth idea rather than just surface level of knowledge. Okay, then I will show you how you can test the AI application, what exactly you need to test in AI application, how to test the LLM models, right? What are the parameters we check when we design an LLM model, right? How exactly you can consume these LLM models. Okay, that is also one of the important thing. Hugging Face, Bedrock, those are the very good areas to explore. Okay, I will show you a couple of them. Then we will have a little bit work around with Vibe coding. We will learn a bit. Okay, I will show you some demo around it. Agentic AI, I will show you some demo. Code generation tool I have already added in one of my generative AI for software testing course, but this time I'm going to give you a little bit more in-depth knowledge. What in-depth knowledge? This is the fun part which I have not added. I will teach you how to do security testing with code generation tool. Okay, it would be a more extensive one. You can see all the security parameters, you can check everything over there. Okay folks, and this is I have not added it. This one I have decided again yesterday night. I spent couple of hours to figure out what I should extra add after this. So security testing with GenAI code generation tools I will show you. Okay, because most of the folks are doing it these days in this way. Okay, they are not nowadays using Bob suit and all, but a couple of scenarios like your penetration testing, those things you need to do with PubSuit. Okay, but I guess with code generation tool most of the common security things can be handled. Okay, I will show you in-depth flow around it. Okay, the last module is why I have added this one, Because I'm seeing a lot of people are getting rejected for this QA process round. Okay, the reason behind it is QA process does not mean knowing about manual versus automation, this versus that. That is not the process. Okay, process is like how you are advocating AI in your team. Okay, this kind of questions will come. Okay, how you are making sure that shift left strategy is adding value in your team. Are you quantifying it? If yes, how? Those are the QA process thing. Okay, QA process does not mean test plan, test. Those are not QA process. Those are gone. Those days are gone. Okay, nowadays the questions are being very depth. Okay, and I usually talks to many of your folks, right? And then I got to know that okay, the interview, the last rounds, director round, managerial round are being more intensive these days. Okay, initially we consider it like okay, we will get an offer once we're reaching the last round, but these days the things has been changed a lot. Okay, the reason is not like people are being more talented. The reason is that the interviewer is also using AI. Okay, he also has access to GPT. We need to know that. Okay, so that's why this scenario level of questions being more intense. So I will give you some scenario around it. How you will quantify shift left strategies being a success in your team. How you will quantify that the ROI is being positive, right? How you will make sure that your test plan is not nothing just a document, but it is helping you to manage the escalations, right? How your strategy are being so exact that you are not getting any escalation after the release, right? Those kind of questions will be asked more in future. Okay, because normal theoretical questions can easily be answered by looking at GPT. People are doing that, right? That's why the questions will be more scenario based in future, because by the time you write it in GPT it will take time, unless you have a voice to text. So there are a lot of tools these days which can convert your voice to text also. Okay, so this part, that's why I've added towards the last. And as usual I will help you with like your resume, LinkedIn, those things are anyway part of it. Little bit of assignment, I'm going to give you a lot of assignment in every section. I will also give you one assignment where you need to play around and create an AI based app of your own with just prompts. Okay, I'm not sure how much you folks would be interested, but I'm going to help you guys to understand how to create those AI apps easily. Okay, so those will be our most probably the entire content. Now why play this document I have created, folks, when I have decided to take the session, I have done a lot of R&D. Okay, because many of you know that I have a small kid at home, so it's very difficult for me to take these sessions. Okay, but still I decided to take. The reason is that one, you are going to need it. Okay, market is going to change. People are replacing QA roles. They are trying to make a point like this is a real discussion I had with one of the CEO last month, and he was telling like that, so that there are a lot of AI tools which are doing a good job, and he shown me one example, and it really does a very good job. Okay, so there will be a risk. Okay, it's not like we are going to lose our job. That is never going to happen, because I have seen AI very closely, and the kind of code it writes is very good, but you cannot debug it. So the problem is debugging, not developing. Okay, and you will get to hear these things a lot in coming 1 year, because we have seen it. Last 1 year I have extensively worked in this, and I have seen it. The code we have written with AI is drastically difficult, folks. Okay, you cannot debug those codes, because those codes are written at a very higher level of coding standards and optimization techniques. Okay, which we may not be even aware of, right? Okay, one more thing I missed. I will teach you design patterns. Okay, I will add it over here, folks, because this one is being asked by many of you to me. Okay, design patterns I'm going to add. System design, those are the advanced topic. Okay, design patterns, system design, code optimization, time and space complexity. Okay, this one I'm going to teach you, folks. Okay, I will teach you in a very simple way that you can brag like anything. Okay, okay, so I will teach you in a very simple way. Okay, these four things I will make you like in a way like you can explain it to anybody. So these four things is being managed by AI these days, so those codes are very complex to debug. That's why QA are 100% needed. Okay, so why Playwright on high demand? And if I will just walk you through a real R&D, folks, which I have done. See, if we look at the data from late 24 to early 2025, Selenium has stars 29K to 30K, Cypress 46K, Playwright is 68K. Can you imagine? That means people are, and I am tracking it from a long time, okay, and then I figured out, okay, people are a little bit inclining towards Playwright, okay. So we have data. It's not like we are just saying by looking some videos or post, okay. Actually, you can go and see these things, okay. They have more stars. First thing, this data, I will share you this data also, folks, okay. Why I'm sharing this? Because in your team, if you want to, because after learning you will try to implement in your team, right? And you cannot just go and say that, okay, I want to implement this, and then we cannot give reason like, okay, manager is not allowing. You need to go with data, right? That's why I'm sharing those data with you folks. So language demand, if I will show you, then again, Playwright with TypeScript has 3 to 5 million plus downloads per week. And if you look at the Python, it's just 500K, folks. And Java 100 to 200. That means drastically less, not even close. That's why I didn't pick this languages, okay. Even Python is the most easiest one, but Python is not going to take up a lot of market, okay, for sure, in near future. Java and JavaScript is going to rule for a long time. That we all can see, and we have data for it. It's not like we are just assuming it and saying it. If you see over here, see the downloads. From the downloads you can see, right, how exactly the people are kind of inclining towards which language, correct. So those data I have put it over here, and those data I have not manually go and fetch it. I have used all kind of AI to fetch this information, folks, okay. It's not like something I sit and do it manually. So now why TypeScript is preferable, as I have shown you, right? The demand is pretty high, and TypeScript is far better than JavaScript, because in JavaScript you are going to make a lot of mistakes. So why you are going to a lot of mistakes? I have a very nice funny example to you, okay. Let's assume you are planning to go for a vacation, okay, and you need to pack everything. You need to pack your t-shirts, you need to pack your shirts, you need to pack your shoes, you need to pack some additional utility maybe for yourself, right? And you just collect everything, put it in your bag, and take it to for your vacation. When you reach, you figured out that, okay, you took around 10 t-shirts, but you haven't considered any proper shirts or maybe pullovers or sweatshirts. You just have 10 t-shirts, right? And then you figured out that, okay, you forgot somehow the night suits, right? So those are the things happens because you chose everything chaotically and there was no check on it, right? So how about I will tell you that when you do the packing, somebody standing there will tell you, okay, no, you can take only 5 t-shirts, 5 shirts, and 5 pullover and 5 sweatshirts. You cannot take more than 5, less than 5. You need to take 5. Now that's what TypeScript does. It put a check. Very simple way I try to put it, okay, so that you folks will not get confused, in a very simple way, okay. So it's exactly the same. You are packing the same bag, okay, but not in a chaotic manner, with a check. That's what basically TypeScript does in a simple language, or else both are pretty same. And trust me, I have seen interns, and trust me on this, I have seen interns who is a pro in Java. He has created an app in 2 days, in 2 days of hackathon, learning JavaScript and TypeScript. It's that easy, folks, okay. But yes, it's not that easy for us maybe, but I will try to make sure that it would be super easy for you folks, okay. And it has a good IntelliSense and autocomplete feature. Those are all means kind of overhyped things, but the main reason is the check, okay. And here also I have put a good comparison on JavaScript, Python, and Java. I'm not creating a separate one for TypeScript because I consider both of them are pretty safe. Because if you notice, built for web, JavaScript is native, Python is native, Java is not. Async await, very good in JavaScript and Python, okay. Java is not that much. Type safety is the most selling point of Java. That's why JavaScript was lagging. And this type safety is being covered by TypeScript. So TypeScript is basically the best of all. See, TypeScript gives you Java-like type safety and code completion, perfect for automation. That's why TypeScript is kind of the best of all, okay? Kind of the best of all. But if you ask me personally, I still root for Java, okay? So now Playwright versus Cypress plus versus Selenium. overall there is a big table is there. Okay, I don't want to bore you guys with this. I just tell you with Chris because I have used all three. Selenium does not have proper management of weights. That's a big stress, right? Retries, weights, those are a headache in Selenium. That one has been managed in Cypress. It's not like it is only managed in Playwright. Cypress also does that, but Playwright also does it in a more smarter and refined way. Okay. So that is a big selling point for Playwright. You don't have to do any additional manual step for weights and your retries. It will automatically taken care by Playwright. Okay, that is one of the biggest thing which I have felt when I have started using Playwright. Okay, cross browser support is superbly good. Okay, cross browser support is superbly good. You can just select the browsers and it will run. It is very good. Okay, I will show you when we will go through the sessions. And then the another selling point which I find very good is the API part, because in Java you need to go with rest assured, right? Cypress does support it with the API part too, but here they have done a far better job as compared to that. Okay, rest of the features are pretty much same as Cypress. Okay, but yeah, kind of the main selling point you can say is like in the Playwright is like your yeah, native your support to retries and support to retries. And one more thing I told is like retries and auto weights is very good. Integrations lacks a bit, folks. Okay, in Playwright the integrations are not good yet because it's a new one, we all need to realize. One more thing you may have seen, I have not added mobile, right? Why? What's the reason? Because mobile testing is not actually supported by Playwright. They have just done a very minute level of thing, not properly with the real devices and all. So overall it is not supported for mobile. They try to sell it in different ways, but it's not supported, okay, with the real device. That's why that is one of the big flaws. And one of the another big flaw with Playwright I have seen is like, folks, this one, real-time test execution is not there, which you may have seen in Cypress. Okay, which is not there over here. Okay.
So we have 10 minutes.
Extend call 15 minutes. Your on
Yes.
enjoy dongle calls. Answer 15 minutes is more than enough. Okay. Thanks, man, for reminding. Yeah. So I will send you this document, folks, okay, to have a proper walkthrough around it. Okay. If you notice over here, what Playwright does not support. This one you folks should know. Okay. Real device testing not supported. Built-in visual testing not supported. So there is a needs of persist. So I will explain you during the session. Plugin marketplace is not so good, as I told, right? Plugin support is not so good. But folks, the biggest selling point is everything is one place. Your visual, API, UI, everything at one place. So actually that's why I have in fact used it in my one of my project, that instead of going here and there with different tools, better to go with one. And the debugging part is super good over here. Debugging is going to save a lot of time. And Playwright MCP is by far the best among the Selenium MCP and all. Playwright MCP is by far the best. Okay, so those are some of the biggest reason why we have selected Playwright with TypeScript and all. I'm going to share this document with all the data. You can go through it, folks. Now let's come back to the timing. Timing, I am thinking of considering Saturday and Sunday for Indian folks. That means Friday night and Saturday night for PST and EST. Now Friday night it would be 9 p.m. for PST 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Okay, that means 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Saturday Sunday for Indian folks. For PST 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. For CST I don't want to say because it's already too late for you folks. Okay, but Saturday Sunday would be this timing. I will keep one more session on Wednesday one. I'm going to keep it in the PST morning time. Okay, so Saturday Sunday basically for learning. Wednesday is basically for the assignment help, a little bit on the doubt, and more on the live actions. If something additional of these topics I want to show, I will do it on Wednesday I will keep it on PST morning. The reason is that means for you, means Indian folks, it would be Wednesday evening. PST CST Wednesday morning. Morning, I guess mostly we will pick around 11 a.m. Okay, so that it would be a good time for PST and EST also, all can join. Okay, 11 a.m. but would be too late for you folks, right? Wait folks, wait, huh? So maybe 10 a.m. we will keep, okay? 10 a.m. PST Wednesday. Okay, my bad. Okay, 10 a.m. PST, so that it's 10:30 p.m. for IST. We can think about this Wednesday timing when I will send the flyer, but mostly I will keep it on 10 because I need to cover the CST PST folks also. If they sometime miss some videos, right, they can watch it. If they miss the session, they can watch it, and then the doubt, yes, CST it will be too late, Jyoti, but I don't have any overlap options, so I need to go with 9 p.m. That's why Wednesday one I am keeping in the morning, okay, so that I can cover the EST PST folks. Uh, Wednesday is midnight. Then Kishore, maybe for you, you can ask your doubts on Saturdays and Sundays, okay? So that would be fine. Because SGP very less folks we have, huh? Kishore, so I don't have much students from SGP, I guess. So a couple of folks I will manage with you, not or else I will set up a separate call. Don't worry on that one, okay? And morning time I am picking Wednesday just to help out the CST and PST folks, okay? Because sometime you may miss their night calls, then you can just watch it, and then Wednesday we can sit and try to resolve if you have any doubt or queries, because you need to practice it parallelly. Coming to the Friday and Saturday, you said EST and PST, right? Yeah, yeah. Friday and Saturday for EST PST night 9 p.m. PST is the time. Friday 9 p.m. PST, Saturday 9 p.m. PST. Okay, so it's Saturday and Sunday morning for Indian folks. Okay, and I will send you all those details. Okay, so and fee details and everything I will put it over there. Okay, I will put it in the group, but I'm not sure. So one thing you folks need to do, let me do a quick thing right away. Okay. Mm, just give me a minute folks. I'm not sure I can fetch all the folks that have joined or not. Uh, but I will anyway. I will after this call. I will do it, or I will create a spreadsheet and send it to you folks. Okay. Someone wants to join, but we are about to finish. Mohit, we are about to, yeah. So the course charges and all, Rishi, it would be 15,000 for everyone. Okay, means the normal charges would be 15,000 for, and the course will go around 3 to 4 months. Okay, I am assuming it will go to 4 months. Okay, because the security testing part will take me one session at least, but yeah, 3 to 4 months. Okay, so take it of around 3 to 4 months of time, and it would be 15,000. For students, you are going to get a separate discount, okay, which I will put it in the student group. Okay folks, for you the price would be little different because you have already paid for our other courses. So people who are not part of that, don't feel like it is some additional benefit. It's not like that. They have already taken my other courses, that's why. The discounted price for my students will be given in the group. Okay, 15 would be the normal one, and I guess this would be, I did a little bit of R&D, and couple of folks in the group also helps me on that to beat the price, because I was very confused what to give. But 3 to 4 months below that I cannot, because I want to touch base every aspect of testing, because I will not do it again very frequently, right? So I want to make sure that if I take this, it will kind of continue for at least 1 to 2 years for my folks. Okay, yes, Playwright is the best folks. Okay, and trust me, Playwright is going to take up the market. That's why I've never taught Cypress, because I was never convinced with the idea that it is going to take a large market. Okay, but Playwright will take, and the main reason, the Microsoft, it is backed by a big player. Okay, when it is backed by a big player, and you may have not noticed, but the kind of backing it is getting is really very strong. And if Microsoft is have a strong belief behind Playwright, then they are going to take it very strong. Okay, and Cypress, I don't think so will sustain for a longer period of time. I can at least feel it. Okay, I'm not sure, I may be wrong, but I don't think so. And Selenium also slowly will go away, because the flackiness is being an overhead for everybody. And with MCP and all, I'm not sure, but it's not like Selenium will go away. It will never happen like it. But if a new startup is working, if a new team is starting automation, they may consider Playwright. Okay, high probability. I'm saying it. Okay, that could happen, but it's not like right away they will plan to migrate all the Selenium into this one. Okay, yeah, price details would be 15,000. Okay, INR. Okay, right? And for my students, I will put it in the group, okay? Because all of my students are there in the group. So I will put it in the WhatsApp group. But just started migrating from Selenium to Playwright. Not Senthil much. They are not migrating much. They are migrating Cypress to Playwright, not Selenium to Playwright. Because if it is in Java, they are not migrating mostly. Huh? EMI available. Rishi, you can ping me. Okay. I'm giving you my WhatsApp, folks. Okay. If anybody want to reach out to me, save my WhatsApp. But students don't have to reach out. That I will put it in the group so everybody will be aware of it. Okay. Makes sense, right? I hope. Yes. Sorry. Good question, Apurva. All the course recordings, documents will be provided. Okay. Course recordings, documents, everything will be provided. Mostly we are going to do it in Zoom. Okay. So the file will be more less memory, so it will be easier for you folks. Okay. Hope I have covered all the things I have planned for. Okay. Hey Jahid, nice to see you, man. Cool then, guys. Okay. And the start dates mostly this coming week or next to next week. Okay, it's coming weekend or maybe next week. Got it, right, folks? I will update on this one. I'm just thinking now how I will track. Most of you are, I assume that most of you are my students, but if not, then any of you are not my students, can you ping over here? I guess most of you are, right? Okay. You are not my student, right, Narinder?
Yes, sir. I'm not your student. I'm new here.
Okay, cool. But majority are my folks. So you can those who are not my student, they can just ping me on WhatsApp, okay? But our start date would be from next Sunday, okay? 99% from next Sunday, okay? Next Sunday means IST Sunday, okay? That means Friday call we will not have. Saturday 9 p.m. Saturday 9 p.m. PST. Next Saturday 9 p.m. PST. That means correct 1 week from today. Yes.
Hi, sir. This is Fahad here. Quick question.
Yeah.
Said I'm joining from Singapore, so for the Wednesday class, it would be quite late for me. So I think I would also request your help to consider me joining the Saturday for the doubts or maybe Sunday class.
Yeah, sure. That's fine, Fahad. Or I can set up a separate call. That's fine, okay?
Okay,
I will
great.
I will
Thank you.
collect 4-5 folks and have a separate call. That's fair enough.
Sure, that would be great. Okay, thanks.
So
that one about payment details, will you take PayPal or how does that work?
that one, yeah, PayPal would be there, Jill would be there. You are US from here, right? US, you can do Jill also.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will share you all those details.
Few more minutes, Sid.
Yes,
Also,
sir.
Siddharth, are these recordings available for lifetime?
Yes. Those I will do a setup where it would be usually all my courses are lifetime access. This one would be also be lifetime access, and I keep on updating whenever required. Okay, 100% lifetime access. Documents and all I will try to give you in PDF also, so you can read it from mobile before interviews, right? Flyers I will give you a lot of flyers because AI is there, so it's easy to create flyers so that you can go through it before the day of interview. Okay. Yeah.
Is it done? My question I have.
Friday 9 p.m. PST, Saturday 9 p.m. PST would be the class timing, okay?
That.
Yeah, just give me a minute, let me write this one. And there will be Wednesday 10 a.m. PST. Everything I am writing in PST. Main session Friday, Saturday 9 p.m. PST. This one is mostly for doubts or something like that, okay? So this would be our class timing. We are going to start from next Saturday. I'm not sure what's the date next Saturday, but yeah, next Saturday. What's the date, anybody? Next Saturday? I don't have mobile.
14th.
14th, okay. The 7th June. Oh my goodness.
7th June.
Okay, then June 7th means next Saturday, 9 p.m.
Next Saturday, 7th June. Sorry.
Okay. Got it, right, folks? If you have any queries, you can ping me and keep my WhatsApp. Again, I'm giving you, okay? Those who are not my students, they can reach out to me on WhatsApp, okay? To ask me any queries or anything, okay? Yes, Vikram. Students means those who are part, so previous courses, yeah. And usually it is mostly all of my students are invited. And additional groups I have added where people are there in my Telegram group, WhatsApp group. Those folks are also there, but not, I have not declared it in LinkedIn or anywhere. I'm not even going to do that. Yeah.
So I've taken your course, so I will get a discount or?
Yeah, we can ping me, Mohit. Okay. Usually that is only for my students, or else it would be kind of a difficult situation for me to manage. But I will ask you one of the folk which you can talk. Okay, Mohit.
Yeah, one more question. Like, will you do live coding in this like Playwright course?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, definitely, because without coding is kind of 80% of everything, right? 20% is just methods and all. So coding will be there. We will design a framework from scratch. We will develop everything from scratch, and then we will put it in the GitHub. We run it in the pipeline, right? Everything we will do. And I will give you all interview Q&A also. I have prepared a very good JavaScript, TypeScript interview Q&A like I have done for Java.
So this course will be on TypeScript or JavaScript?
So you will learn both TypeScript and JavaScript. Framework design we will do with TypeScript.
Okay.
Okay. We will learn both the language because, as I told, right, without JavaScript, difficult to make sense with TypeScript. Nearly difficult, man. Okay. So both language we will learn, but framework would be on TypeScript. Good question. Okay, that is a good one.
Hi, Sidhartha Shadwani here. Sidhartha, in this course, will you also provide some interview tips for lead roles?
Yes. Interview tips will be part of it. So if you notice over here, I will share you this link. I'm sharing it with everyone. Okay, just keep it handy, folks. Okay, in this document only, share with people. Okay, just keep this link. This link has all the information, what's topic cover, interview preparation is there. Okay, project score, assignment solution, so everything would be there. I will, in this only I will add at the end the fees and everything. Okay, the links, how to pay and everything, I'll put it over there. Hope you have got an idea that what are the topics we are going to cover. So the link for this document you can find in the comment section first, right? And second, if you want to enroll for this course, I have put the details of the enrollment at the end of this document. Okay, on how to enroll, what forms to fill, and regarding the timings and all, I have mentioned at the end of this document. Okay, so you can go through this link, you will find the content, how to enroll, and what are the timings for the session, right? So one thing, once you enroll, then you need to make sure that you are filling up the form that I have provided. Okay, so I will have your email ID and all the details, right? Makes sense, right, folks? Take care. Bye bye.